This is Jesse Morrill, College Counselor at Liberty Common High School, and in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to use the college search tool in your Naviance account effectively so that you're able to use it to really compare and research different schools that you're going to be considering for post-secondary study. Remember, to log on to your Naviance account, you're going to go to the Naviance link right on the home page here for Liberty Common High School. Under username, it is your PowerSchool username, and your PowerSchool password is also the same for Naviance. If you're not sure what these numbers are, come and see me or see somebody in the front office and we'll be able to give you those numbers so that you can log into your Naviance account. Once we've logged in here, I'm logged in as a fake student who we're calling Liberty Eagle. You'll see that you have a number of options that we'll go through together at some point here in the classroom, but today again we're going to look at the College tab, and when I click under Colleges, you'll see a number of different options here that we can choose from under Colleges. And I'm going to go down here to College Search. Super Match is also a good search tool, and there's a video attached to that link, and so you can look at that one as well. But I'm going to show you how to use the College Search tool down here, the kind of the normal one. And the reason I like this is that you're able to get some real nice lists where you can compare and contrast a number of different schools. So when you get in here, you can see that we've got a number of options here that we're going to be able to choose from, a number of different criteria that you're going to be able to pick from in order to do your search. I'm going to go through each of these criteria just quickly before we get going. The first one here is type, and that's where we're looking at whether the school is a 2-year or 4-year school, a public or private school, whether it's in a large city, small town. It also includes religious affiliation. So there's a number of different things here that you can take a look at. Under location, it's going to be about where the school is located. You can choose regions of the country. You can also choose particular states. You can also look outside of the United States as you're doing your search here. Under students, you're going to get information like enrollment, minority background. You can see in-state versus out-of-state students, male and female. So a little information about the student body. Admissions is really just one question about percent accepted. The higher the percentage that is accepted, the easier it is to get into that school. When you're getting down to less than 25%, that means it's a very difficult school to get into in terms of their admissions requirements. Under athletics, we're looking at sports here. So a number of different sports that are listed. You can check off any of these sports, make sure that they're offered at the school that you're looking at. You can make sure that it's either a male or female sport. You can choose the different association that maybe that sport is under, and also division. So if you're an athlete, this would be an important category. For majors, you can choose just about any major here, and we'll get into that here in a minute when we do our sample search. Under cost, this is going to talk about tuition, in-state versus out-of-state tuition, and obviously that's something that is important to take a look at as you're considering all the different schools that may be on your list. And then special programs would include things like ROTC, different clubs and organizations that are affiliated with the school that are not necessarily athletics. So you can see there's a number of different criteria. Now, as we do our sample search here, one thing that you want to really pay attention to is that you want to start broad with this search. If you go through each of the different categories and you choose everything that you're looking for in a school, oftentimes you're going to come up with very few matches, sometimes 0 matches, because you're going to be too specific. And so what I like to do is start really broad, start with maybe 2 different things that are important to you, maybe the 2 most important things to you, and then you can narrow it down from there, and I'll show you what I mean here with this sample. So let's say that maybe as I'm looking for a school, it's really important to me that I'm located in a certain area. And I'm going to go here under location and choose the West. I'm just going to choose the entire region. So that'll include all of these states here that are listed under the West. And let's say that for me, I have a particular major that I'm definitely looking for. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to look for a civil engineering major. And so I can just type this in as a search a search term, and it'll pull up majors that are offered under that field. And I'm going to choose the general and the other civil engineering majors and just select these. Now, based on those two categories, I'm going to go ahead and show matches here and see where I'm at. So you can see I've got 67 matches, and the schools are all listed here that fit under my criteria so far. So 67 might be a little bit bigger list than I want. So I'm going to go back in now. I'm going to narrow it down a little further. So I'm going to click under type, and I definitely want a 4-year school. So I'm going to choose 4-year school. And then I'm going to come down here again, and let's just show matches again. So I've gotten it down now to 58. So the other thing I'm going to look for is maybe under student body, maybe I want, not a huge school. So I'm going to go somewhere from 5 to 10. I'm going to choose anywhere from 0 to 10,000 students in terms of enrollment. So I'll get a little bit smaller school. And then show matches again. And now I'm down to 18 schools. Now 18 is a pretty good list to start from here. So it gives me enough schools to look at, but not too many to where it's overwhelming. So now from here I've got my list of schools, and there's a number of things I can do with the list. I can select information to compare. So I can go through here and maybe I want to know what the percent accepted is for each of these schools, and that again tells me about how difficult it is to get into the school. And it'll pull this out for me and tell me, again, you see Stanford at 7% versus Oregon Institute of Technology at 93%. So we've got a wide range here of admissions requirements. Maybe I also want to look at, what's the average ACT score coming in here. And that again gives me a little bit of an idea of the difficulty to get into the school. And it'll pull out and show me average ACT scores for the schools that are on my list. Maybe I also want to know about, maybe enrollment. And again, we said 0 to 10,000, but that's a pretty broad range. And you can see we've got anywhere from 1,480 to about 9,700 here. So just a way to kind of compare and contrast now some different pieces of information around these schools. And you can see there's a number of different criteria that we can be choosing from as we're looking at all this information. Now, the other thing that's really neat about this program is that I can save my search. So if I've got a list that I like, I can save it, and maybe I'll call this, civil engineering in the West. And I can save it under there. Then when I log back in here, I can always pull this search right back up again. I can continue researching the schools that I had on my list. So I've got a sample search, and I've got this Civil Engineering West, and it's going to always give me this list of 18 schools that I've put on here. So it's a great way to, again, be able to come back, research, and compare some of these schools. Now from the list, I can do a few things. I can choose pick, and if I pick schools, then they'll actually go into this little box here. I can either delete those schools if I know I'm not interested in them. I can do a comparison, or I can add them to my list of colleges, which I'm going to talk about in another video. You can also click on a school profile, and then from there you can actually research or get some information specific to that school. You can go right to their website if you'd like, and you can add it to your list as well. And so again, in another video I'm going to talk a little bit about these college profiles and how to read the information that's in here. So that is really it in terms of using the college search tool. Hopefully you find this helpful. Again, if you have questions, don't hesitate to come in and see me. Send me an email or give me a call over at the high school, and I'll be happy to walk you through it.